Project Sapient is a podcast meant to engage our brothers and sisters in the law enforcement and military communities in conversations that we all know we need to have. All opinions you'll hear are our own, are protected by our First Amendment of the United States Constitution, and in no way reflect or are meant to reflect the opinion of any specific agency, officer, or service member. Some opinions may be controversial. Listener discretion is advised. Enjoy. Good evening, Iman.
Pete,
how are you, sir?
what's up?
I always have to ask how you're doing because I never know with you. It might be fucking crazy. It might be fucking cuddly.
I'll ramp it up.
You're going to ramp it up?
Yeah, just the fuck of it.
You're drinking a bang, so I don't know if it's...
No, it's Zoa.
Oh, it's Zoa.
The Rocks energy drink here.
Oh, that's nice. It's wild orange. Looks good.
Guys, Project Sapient.
Christ. Dude, you're already getting me ramped up.
We want to say thanks to our supporters. First of all, check out our website, projectsapient.org. Shoot us an email, projectsapient2020@gmail.com. Thanks to our supporters, DCD Automotive, which is the Boch Group, Till Valhalla Project, AAA Police Supply, HAVOK our partners at Profiles and HAVOK, Second Mission, Live Boston 617, OD Kit, Eagle Eye Firearms, GunTrack, Fit Cops, 22 Mohawks, and Joint Operations. So, I'm sorry. My therapist has been telling me to always apologize for my inactions. So I'm sorry for what I just said to you about your drink.
My therapist.
He's going to fucking kill me.
My therapist, Dr. McGillicuddy, always tells me to run straight at anything and just knock it the fuck down. So I think we have two very different therapists.
If this is my last show, I'm going to miss all of you. All right, back to serious shit.
Right,
serious stuff.
Okay.
All right.
So today, today we have a special guest, Dexter Pitts. He emailed us after we did the episode regarding Stephanie Hudson and the whole Portland police issue
fiasco.
Yeah. Wouldn't even call it issue, just the debauchery going on over there. And he reached out, and he's active law enforcement, also a combat vet.
Yep.
Spoke to him a couple times on the phone, hit it off right away. So we decided he has his own podcast too, called I Am Pitts Podcast. So we figured we'd do like a dual crossover like we do with HAVOK.
With HAVOK, absolutely.
Yeah,
so Dexter, can you hear us okay?
I can. Yes, sir.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the debauchery.
Yeah. I got to say something about that energy drink, too. How dare you drink the Rocks drink?
What? What?
Dare you?
How what?
Cops only one. The cops only drink bangs or rains.
Well, no.
Apparently, he's a transphobe now.
Yo. Hey,
I saw the video the other day. I was like, what?
I had a bang the other day. I mean, I know I had a bang this morning. Now I'm going mellower with this guy.
So is that what it's not an energy drink? It's just like a mood enhancer.
Oh no, it's an energy.
Oh, it is.
It is not. It only has 160 milligrams.
Yeah, that's nothing. The bang is 300. You know, this is so I go to bed tonight.
You guys are whacked, dude.
I'm not gonna lie. I've been on those Lonnie News.
Oh really?
Oh man, they're delicious.
They are.
What are those?
I've seen them. They're smaller cans.
Yeah.
They got like 200 milligrams. They're delicious. But there's one, man, I don't know, when I start drinking it, I get a little limp wristed. I'm telling you, man, my homeboy, they was like, yo, what are you drinking? It's got a pair of like lips on it. Like it looks real feminine.
You're going to fail your drug test, dude.
No, I might, man.
You should tell him, like, I think I'm having a stroke.
So Dex, man, listen, thank you so much for coming on. I see you get the flag behind you. I Am Pitts Podcast.
Oh yeah.
Tell us a little bit about it, man, or whatever you want to tell us. Go for it.
Oh yeah, man. So last year, March, I started a podcast. Like I said, I've always been a podcast guy, especially on patrol.
Yep.
You know, you're rolling around, you can listen to something. Started listening to Drinking Bros when they came out. Transitioned to Black Rifle Coffee. And man, and I just love podcasts. I was like, you know what? I should probably start a podcast since I like podcasts so much. Like everybody else and their grandma that has a podcast.
Yeah. Hey, listen, you have little Jenny podcast on you about how she makes milk chocolates and, makes them into a ball. And here you go. And you're like, okay, everyone does it.
She makes $83 million a year doing it.
I'm telling you, man. Everybody, dude. And all those sponsors y'all got, man. I was like, my God.
Yeah, well, that's just, I don't know how that happened. Usually, I think, again, whenever I drink whiskey, I send emails out and things just shit happens.
I'm doing that now.
There you go.
There you go.
Maker's Mark.
There you go, man.
I like it.
You know what's funny is that every time we do an episode, somebody's drinking something, and I'm the only one that's never drinking.
Well, that's your fault.
Why?
That's your fault.
Are you a real cop?
No.
He plays
I
cop.
Pretend.
Yeah, he plays cop.
I'm an accountant. Nobody knows.
I pretend to be a cop too. I'm on an extended Halloween.
Yeah, exactly.
So you also got a book. Tell us a little bit about the book. I mean, we have a lot of listeners. We want them to go out and buy the book. Where can they get it? Tell us about it.
Oh, so the book is I Am Pitts, Memoirs of an American Patriot. So the book is my life story. And before everybody, nobody cares, but it's been a long 37 years, people.
Yeah.
So it covers me growing up in the military, but also me growing up Black and being dark skinned and how I was treated by other Black people for being so dark skinned and how I was traumatized and terrorized for it. Then I just go into joining the military after 9/11, going to boot camp, going to Iraq and getting blown up, my recovery in Walter Reed, getting out of the Army and going through those whole range of emotions, trying to figure your life out.
Yeah.
Getting married with the first marriage, the first divorce, second marriage, second divorce.
Listen, you're a cop. Hey, you're a cop. Military cop.
True vet.
That's the way. Yeah, you're a true vet. That's the way it is.
Don't feel alone out there. Y'all are not alone. I'm on number 3. One for each decade.
Yeah.
I have a dog now.
And I also go in the book. Also go into how when I was a rookie officer, I got a call about my mother being shot.
Oh,
while I was at work, and it turns out, she was a victim of domestic violence with my father after 28 years of marriage, and I was on my first detail after my first phase of training. I'm at the hospital and by my mother in her uniform, and she shot herself. Oof. And I took her off of life support. And I go through all that whole gambit of emotions with that. My life is falling apart, and I don't have the courage to kill myself. So I was in the perfect line of work for somebody else to do it for me. So I got real reckless at work. Yeah. But one of our my sergeant, he's a former homicide officer, has one leg, stepped in, intervened, saved my life. I turned my life around, get married again for the third time. And this time it actually works. And then I felt called to join the Border Patrol because I still wanted to serve. I go down to the border for a year, working on the border. Then lo and behold, the riots in Louisville break out. And I decide it's time to bring my ass back home and get into the craziness.
All right. Well, hey, this is the show. I think we wrapped up everything that we wanted.
Let's turn that music back on.
Good night, ladies. Good night, boss.
Yeah, right. No, just so, wow. I mean, so what history right there, right?
Yeah.
So when did you first go into the military? I know you said after 9/11. I'm one of the post 9/11 guys. Was it immediately after or?
No, man, it wasn't immediately. So 9/11, I believe I was a junior.
Okay.
So what really got me was the movie Black Hawk Down, which came out right that following October. Yeah. I was like, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Sign me up, man. But my dumb ass didn't get enough high on score in the ASVAB. Lo and behold, while I joined the infantry with a machine gunner. So I joined up August 2003, go to boot camp, and then I'm in Iraq by June of 2004.
Quick ramp up, man.
Right in the thick of it.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Where? Actually, you know what? I'm getting way too far ahead. I wanted to first go to your childhood about the way you grew up. You said, how you were, dark skinned, black man, black kid, but because of your skin color, you were still hounded by other black men.
Oh yeah, well, the leader of the crew was a female.
Okay, all right. So
that explains half of it.
Yeah. So let's get into that because actually, maybe that's why I need that paper to keep me on track. But no. So tell me about how that was like growing up in that environment.
So it's so weird, man. My family's from Mississippi, but I was brought up in the military. So growing up in the military, you know how it is, man. Everybody's all different nationalities, creeds,
don't
religions. None of that ever mattered until my dad retired and we moved to Radcliffe. Yeah. And I started going to public school. And I remember seeing these black kids on the back of the bus, like, oh, man, we all gonna be friends. Yeah. The next thing you know, they started in on me, man, with the jokes. And I remember one of the names they used to call me was half past midnight.
Oh, Jesus.
Look at his that was a light day. Kingsford. Oh, man.
So you got into a lot of fights.
No, man. I was a little punk when I was terrified, man. And I was outnumbered. And I was bigger than everybody. Yeah. That was the crazy part, dude. So I tell people, literally, I am the guy that was bullied and became a cop. But see, I did it because I don't like seeing other people take advantage of other people and hurt other people. Yeah. But I remember what it was like to be the guy that's too afraid to stand up for yourself.
How old were you at the time?
Oh, my God. I was that was seventh grade. So about I guess 13 maybe. 12,
yeah, 13, so that makes sense. You know, life in the military. You were born while your dad was serving?
Yep, Fort Knox, Kentucky.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I know. Tank mechanics kid, man.
Yeah, right. Okay, so you went to school on base. Everything was on base because you know.
He retired.
He retired.
He retired. Okay. Yeah, and then I went to the public school, North Hardin High School,
and that's when you realized how shitty fucking civilians are.
I'm telling you, I got on the bus. It was like, "Welcome to the
jungle." Wow! Oh my God, man.
Okay, so
yeah, man, it traumatized me for years. I mean, I tried to bleach my skin when I was younger.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Because of the other kids.
Yeah, well, and this is what I tell people. You have to read the book, but my mother was teaching me to bleach my skin because she, growing up in Mississippi, the whole colorism thing is a real big thing in the black community, but nobody ever talks about it because it's one of them ugly things within. Yeah, but it's one of them things, man. So growing up for her life was harder because she was dark skinned. The dark skinned girls were treated different than the light skinned girls. So over the years, you know, I remember looking at my mom's pictures like she's lighter or darker in her pictures, and I was like, how? And I remember she took me to Walmart and showed me that black and white bleaching cream, and I started using it, thinking, oh, all my trouble's over. I'm going to be light skinned, you know. I stopped using it, man. And I just kind of went on my life. But
you know, it's funny. It came to mind, and sorry to cut you off, but it came to mind.
Fine, brother.
I never really realized how big of an issue that could be with all kinds of cultures, right? So it just came to mind. I had seen a documentary maybe 2-3 months ago. It was Indian and Pakistani folks. And the biggest thing, it was like a Bollywood documentary, right? Okay. The biggest thing over in those cultures was the same thing, trying to like bleach their skin. Yeah. And they're not quote unquote black per se. They're dark like me and Iman, and you know what I mean? And they're trying to bleach their skin. And I'm like, why the fuck are you people trying to bleach your skin? Like there's some pretty like women and stuff. You're like, oh my God, you're like pretty girl and this and that. Why is she trying to bleach her skin? Like it didn't click to me.
Well, it's within the culture.
But now hearing Dex talking about, I never would have thought that was an issue here in the States. Never would have thought that was an issue.
Yes. Man, you see Sammy Sosa?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow, man. Wow. First, I gotta say, do you think that that's still an issue now?
For me, no, because like I said, I've grown to a level where my self-confidence is
doesn't
matter. Care. I'll make jokes about myself all day. I just at this point I really don't care. But on one of my podcast episodes, I was telling people, you know, when the whole Black Lives Matter thing kicked off and talking about how, you know, evil the police are, I was like, and how evil racist white people are. I was like, I don't have to worry about that for my kids. Yeah. I was like, I worry about my daughter because she has dark skin. How she's gonna be treated by other black people for having dark skin.
So that was my next question. Is it prevalent now with kids growing up too?
Oh, absolutely. It's really that it ain't going nowhere, man.
Yeah. Wow.
It is not going anywhere.
That's kind of concerning.
I tell people, you know, like slavery and stuff is over. But there are still residual effects from that stuff that lingers, man. Yeah. And all that stuff, that's trauma that's been passed down from generation to generation.
Yeah, the bleaching of the skin, you mean? That sort of trauma.
Oh, yeah,
continued.
all that, man. I think there's a rapper they were talking about that's getting ready to bleach his skin. I don't listen to that. I think his name's like Little Uzi Vert or something. My concern was, I was like, is he still going to be able to use the N-word once you relinquish your skin color? Or does he get canceled?
I was watching the comedy show. I don't know if you ever heard of this comedian, Josh Wolf.
No.
Oh, he's hilarious. So... Oh, was it Josh? No, it wasn't Josh Wolf. It was a different comedian. But he actually had an albino black guy in the audience.
An albino black guy. My mind is
I know who you're talking about.
You know, I forget the guy's name.
Christ, keep talking. I'll find it.
He had the guy say the N-word, and he said it like he's from the hood, and the dude's like, my mind's blown. He's like, what the fuck's going on right now? Like, you know, like just really threw him off. But yeah, so dude, that's dude, I'll call you fucked up. But here's the thing. So. Man, yeah. So when I grew up, I'm just thinking like, you know, when
Andrew Schultz.
Yes, Andrew Schultz. Yeah,
okay.
Andrew Schultz.
Have to go look that up.
You gotta look that up.
Oh, dude, don't listen to him with like friends and family around. No.
Hey, he is not PC, no filter. He just
my
lets
type
it
of guy.
rip. Yeah, he lets
awesome.
it rip. Lets it rip. Yeah. So
I cut you off.
It's okay. So
my therapist has told me again to apologize for when I do cut people off.
You're lucky I don't have an appointment with Dr. McGillicuddy earlier today. So
every time you do, I see his legs start shaking.
I know. You're like. So I remember just me growing up. You know, depending on the summer, some summers I get really dark, and like right now I'm, you know, white, light skinned, and I would get mixed up between whether I'm black, Hispanic, you know, whatever culture someone wants to throw at me, you know, whatever racial slur they used to throw at me. But it wasn't, but like you said, it wasn't as much with the white community. It was more on our own, you know, growing up, like in middle school and shit like that. It wasn't like it was, you know, like now I'm rethinking like the way I grew up and how it was. Even within like the Middle Eastern culture, if you're darker, you're considered black. You know, so you get made fun of because of how dark you are. Because out in the Middle East, I don't know if people realize that slavery is still a thing.
Yeah.
I try to tell people here in America, but nobody wants to listen.
Yeah, I don't know if people
they are
realize
still
it.
Brothers over in the Middle East.
Exactly. That is a real thing, people. Slavery is still alive and well in the Middle East.
I heard they took good deals on Amazon, but
hey, you get this guy. Oh, look at this, fresh from Uganda. But that's the thing, like people don't realize it. But so if you get lumped into a certain group, if you're a dark-skinned man or even dark-skinned woman in the Middle East, you will get treated differently right away. You know, and people just don't see it. And, you know, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, that's 100% right. Because the culture, people within the culture are more dangerous than anybody else. And it brings me back to like the law enforcement culture, right? Within, we hate ourselves, like, you know, backstabbing, all that bullshit that goes on, you know? So that's why we're like, dude, I'd rather deal with the asshole out on the street than these assholes in the fucking building,
dude,
you know?
Oh, yeah, because we are ruthless.
Oh, yeah.
To our own,
yeah, dude. It's fucking unbelievable. But growing up in that environment, here's the thing, like I always say, like, I never grew up blaming the white man for whatever, right? If I ran into a couple races, whatever, it's not, I'll get bummed, but then whatever, you know, shrug it off and go. And then when I realized that I can actually knock people out, it started changing.
Right.
It started changing. Right? It was right after my first fight ever. Fucking when I was in middle school. Knocked the motherfucker out like that. And I'm like, huh, all right. You know, and then word spreads in the school, hey, don't fuck with Iman. Like he fucking one punch, he knocked this dude out. You know, so your confidence builds and everything. But as like I said, as I was growing up, I never blamed anybody, you know, because it was always up to me to do something about it. Not anybody else. I'm not waiting for a teacher or social service, whatever. No, I took care of it. I'm good to go now. And that's it. Move on and follow through with your life. And it sounds like you did the same thing. You just like, you know what? Fucking enough's enough. Time to fucking move on.
Yeah. Well, you know, it wasn't that easy for me. I tell a lot of people, man, I actually went pretty extreme far left after I got out of the military because I got married to, can't say her name, but it's in the book. But she's the daughter of a very, 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 very powerful, influential person here in the city I used to live in. You know? And so I remember we were all sitting around like Barack Obama was running for president, and they were like, "No, they're tired." The family was talking about who they were voting for. And who you vote for? I was like, I don't know yet. Like,
what do you mean? Yeah.
I was like, because I had been in school. I started studying African American history, and I was like learning the true history of America with like the Democrats and how they're the party of slavery. I was like, why would I vote? That don't make sense. Why would I vote for a Democrat when they started slavery? And I just figured all this stuff out. But they're like, you're a black man. You're not voting for a black man? I was like, I didn't know I was supposed to, but since you say so.
Wow.
You know, I'll tell you, I was kind of strong armed into it. So I was like, but man, I went real far left. So in 2007, after I got hurt in Iraq, and I did a movie with Spike Lee. Well, I was on a documentary, HBO documentary with James Gandolfini. A lot of their memories home from Iraq. From there, James Gandolfini got me in touch with Spike Lee. And I went with Spike Lee to Italy to shoot the movie Miracle at St. Anna. And this was the first time I've been around like strong, positive black people that taught me not to hate myself, but to love my skin color. And I was, I went all in. And I tell everybody, the biggest thing you face when you get out of the military is trying to find that tribe like the dude you was with, you served with, man. And I was looking for it, couldn't find it. Then all of a sudden, here it is, like black excellence and black power, man. I dove in head first. I started studying African American history, just learning everything I could. And I just got so empowered by it. But I started becoming the victim, and it was everything was the white man's fault. I went down that road hard. But it took me going through a lot of crap to realize, you know, your life sucks because you suck. It ain't really got nothing to do with the white man.
Well, that's what I mean, because we internalize so much, right? And that's all we see. Right. We'll end up seeing, it's the white man did everything. White man did everything. White man did everything. And then everything sucks because that's all you see in your life. I mean, look at it as a cop, right? We deal with 5% of the population who are the worst of the worst. That's just the way it is. Right. But then we deal with it for so long in our career where everyone sucks. But in reality, you know, most people are good, decent people.
I don't agree with that.
Except for that 5%. Hey, talk to your therapist, all right? See, Dr. McGillicuddy's doing much better with me, all right?
I need the number.
You need his therapist. Everybody needs his therapist.
Somebody's failing me here.
So here's the thing. There's certainly a lot more good out there, right? So that's kind of the mentality that I ended up shaping. That, you know what, there's a lot more good out there, especially when I went into the military. Like, my eyes really opened, because in the military, what's the first thing they tell you? What does everybody bleed?
Red. We're all bleeding the same blood.
We all bleed the same blood.
We're all green and equally worthless.
Exactly. That was the first thing. While we're getting smoked, fucking on the you know, I went to Fort Sill for basic, so while we were getting fucking smoked, that's all you kept hearing. I don't give a fuck about any of you. I don't care this. I don't care that. And all y'all motherfuckers are green now, you know, so they really hit it home. And the reality of it is, you know, when I was sitting in the cattle car, literally, did you get the cattle car experience?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know, they don't do that anymore, apparently. I didn't know this, but I got the cattle car treatment. It's legit cattle cars, right? And they stuff you as much as possible into these fucking things. And I look around me and I'm like, dude, there's Asians, Hispanics, black, white, everybody together. Everybody experiencing the same anxieties, the same triumphs, you know, confidence. You know, you're building each other up. It just happens. You know, that's just human nature.
And it's organic, too.
It is very organic. You
don't have to force it, man.
No,
you know,
it just happens.
The one thing I hated going to boot camp. All my dad's friends were military. Hey, just got to blend in. Be the gray man. Be the gray man. Don't stick out. Just don't finish first. Don't finish last. Be in the middle. I get there. I'm like, I'm in the infantry. Ain't no brothers in the infantry, man. I was like one of 3 or 4 black guys, and I was a fat body. I was like, oh God,
they had me away
from day one. There was no not blended in.
Well, for me, they had me because they knew I was from my family's from the Middle East, so they had me picked out right away. They never knew my name till like towards the end, because they always called me. Call you? Oh, Ahmed Hussein Muhammad. Like they pick whatever name of the day. That's
hey, Saddam, come over here.
Exactly.
Can you imagine that going on these days?
Oh, dude.
God.
You know it doesn't.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Holy shit. Today, holy fuck. You get...
Imagine.
The Karens of the world will show up at the drill sergeant's door.
I had an instructor that when he found out I was Greek, would bring an empty pizza box every day. Every day would bring an empty pizza box because Greeks in my area are known for their pizza places.
Yeah.
My dad had a pizza place. My mom had a pizza place.
Yeah.
So this guy, he wouldn't say a word to me. There was no yelling. This one instructor, there was no yelling. There was no nothing. And he'd bring in a pizza box and he'd walk right by me and be like, "You want some?" The fuck? Could you imagine something like that going on these days? It'd be like,
what year did y'all go in?
I'm talking about the police academy. I did it in that was in 2001.
Oh yeah, no, I went September 2002 to Fort Sill. Oh, that's when I went. I was back my drill sergeants, man, they were the most sadistic motherfuckers I've ever met in my life, and I don't think half of what they did back then would fly today with the type of shit. Oh man,
dude. So I sent my drill sergeant. I mentioned him in my book. Yeah, I sent him the chapter I wrote on me being in boot camp. He was like, "Yo, hey, I know I did all that, but I need you to take all that
out." please.
That's the thing, though. Like to me, like, you know, every time you hear like, "Oh, private got fucking hazed," I'm like, yeah, that's not hazing. What they're doing is they're breaking the motherfucking, you know, the mental blocks. Yeah. They're trying to get rid of it so that way you have that confidence. There's a method to the madness, you know, and well, it's all the fucking Karens of the world that are, "Oh, my poor baby, he's crying." Like, he'll get over it. Don't worry about it. He's good. But again, so you know, that was my experience in the military. It's just we're all the same. Everyone's the same. It doesn't matter. You know, we love each other. We look out for each other, and that's it. You know, and it really hits when you deploy to war. Because goddamn,
different ball game at that point.
Because goddamn, when that bullet flies by your head, or the IED goes off, or the ambush, whatever, it don't fucking matter.
It's not looking for the white guy. It's not looking for the black guy. It's fucking hitting anybody.
Yes, anyone with a U.S. fucking, well, they didn't even care if it was U.S. military. They just wanted people to die. You know,
man, I tell everybody, when I was laying on the ground after I got hit by the IED on January 2nd of 2005, and I came to, I did not care what color anybody was, especially when you're facing death. I was like, anybody, please, for the love of God, help me.
Aliens, please fucking come down and help me.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing, though. Like, you know, in combat, it's true because, like you said, though, after that experience going through war, combat, you come back, and then now you want to reconnect with that tribe, right? So I think it was Sebastian Junger. Yeah, Sebastian Junger's book, The Tribe. He hit on those parts of the veteran community after war to reconnect with the tribe.
So is he trying to say that that's why a lot have flocked to law enforcement?
Yeah, flocked to law enforcement.
Oh, I absolutely believe
flocked to more public service and stuff like that, and not just flocked like that, but also flocked to each other.
Okay.
That's why, like, when we go out to bars, whatever, I can only hang out with my fellow vets, you know, that's just the way, or at this point, cops and or vets, you know, because we understand each other, and that's just the way it is, you know, where, Jesus, I remember, I think I told you over Veterans Day, we went to a local bar. It was a bunch of us vets, and the people in the bar were horrified. You had about 15, 16 veterans in this fucking place. We're all fucking boys, and a mix of cops who are also combat vets. We're all there, and
debauchery.
Dude, they were horrified, absolutely horrified, and. Fuck, I'll never forget this couple walk in, total prep. This fucking dude had his sweater fucking tied off like this, like, you know, across his shoulders. You know,
American Eagle.
Yeah. He's just there with his old lady, and they order white wine, and they're sitting directly across from us. And holy
honey,
shit.
don't look at them.
Oh,
Don't look at them.
Literally,
Don't
it was like that. They were so uncomfortable, and I was like, and then us being assholes, we ramped it up a little more
because you knew.
We knew. Well, we knew right away because we're like, look at them fucking judging us right now. I bet you they think. And I don't think we were quiet because we were pretty toasted by then. I bet you they think we're a bunch of fucking savages. And one of them is actually a neurological doctor. Like, he's not even he's a combat vet, but he's a neurological doctor. He's like, yeah. Well, little do they know that I'm a neurological doctor. I'm like, oh, dude, they ended up leaving like shortly, but we ended up having to leave the bar because me and another veteran decided we needed to wrestle real quick because both of us are pretty good size guys, and he wanted to test the speed, so we're like, all right, let's do it.
Is that why you invited me that day?
Yes, I needed somebody
Greco-Roman.
I needed. It was going to be like the Roman versus the Spartan versus the Phoenician type shit. We were going to do like this intertwine of the tribes.
Oh, man.
Exactly. So I think we completely digressed, but that's okay.
Oh, we have.
We've gone from race to fucking drinking.
Well, that's the whole thing with hey, listen, it all ties together though on exactly all part of that culture that it doesn't matter, and that's one thing, we, like you said in your email, that we as law enforcement veterans, we need to speak up and have people realize that our culture is our culture. We've seen shit, done shit. It is what it, we are who we are, and we protect, we save the, lives. We do what we have to do. And when the cancel culture loves rearing its heads every time you see some sort of cop pushes another dude, and all of a sudden it turns into holy shit, fucking excessive force, this, that, the other, and you're like, well, time out. Like, let's really break it down, and there's so much. I mean, I don't, as a profession, I'm going to shift now to law enforcement. As a profession, I've always said from the beginning, it's our own fault because we're such an insulated profession. Don't talk to me. Fucking leave me alone. Oh, you had this use of force incident. News jumps all over it. Everyone jumps all over it. But out of the administration, nothing.
That is the biggest problem.
Yeah.
We do not jump on to put our narrative out there first.
Exactly.
We let everybody's imaginations run wild, and the whole racism bit comes in. Then it just goes off the rails, man.
So
once it's gone? Oh.
Yeah.
Is that why we've been seeing, or at least I've been seeing, an influx of departments of, let's say there's an officer involved shooting or something.
Yeah.
I've seen that some departments are really quick to put the body cam footage out.
Oh, yeah.
So Commissioner Gross of Boston, he was one of the first ones to start doing it right away.
Yeah.
Because he knew he needed to get ahead of the narrative, which I 100%, you know how much we love Commissioner Gross.
Right.
Have you heard of him, Dex?
When I started listening to the show and how badass he was during the protest, I was like, I like that guy.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, he was probably, I've known him my entire career. He was one of the old school black cops. Nothing had to do with race. It was always about people's attitudes. It was always about protecting the blue, his brothers. You know what I mean? Like real brotherhood. The man was just, I hope he listens to the show. He's retired now, and I'm sure he's making a lot of money consulting and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Happy Black History Month, sir.
yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing, though. Him as a commissioner, he's black. I mean, one of the best interviews I've ever. At the time, he was a captain, and you had Black Lives Matter outside because that was, I believe, the night or the day Officer Moynihan got shot in the face.
Yeah.
And the guy got killed. Yeah. Moynihan, good. I actually met him recently. Fucking phenomenal guy. But I remember at the time he was Captain Gross. He was across the yellow tape addressing the Black Lives Matter crew out there, trying to instigate, do whatever. And he was on camera, the news were, wanting to catch the footage. Let's see what he's going to do, what he's going to say. I'm sure they were trying to spin up this whole, black cop, black community. Let's see how it goes, and he's explaining to them, what happened and all that. And they're like, well, did you have to kill him? Well, he's like, well, the officer got shot in the face. I mean,
what do you think was going to happen?
Oh, no. Here's the next question this kid asked him. but aren't you guys trained for that? And at the time, Captain Gross looks at him, and he's like, trained for what? Being shot in the face? And then he walked away from him. He turned around. He's like, you know what? I'm done talking to you.
And he walked away. That was his attitude.
And that was his attitude. And that's what exactly because he knew that's what you have to do is not entertain them. So when Boston got the body cams and actually even before the body cams, he right away implemented, whether it was a policy or something, all the community leaders right away come to his office to watch the footage.
Yep.
And then collectively, they put out a statement.
Or do a press conference right away.
Or do a press conference right away with the community leaders right behind them saying, yes, that was a justified shooting. We watched the video. More will come out at a later time. That way it ends it.
No questions asked. Replicated across the country.
Exactly.
You know why? Because it doesn't make money.
There's only money to be made in chaos and separation, man.
Exactly.
And trust me, these companies, I tell all the politicians.
Oh, politicians.
Black Lives Matter, all these people. I tell the last 2 years has all been about clout and getting money. I was like, you would see these Black Lives Matter guys. They would show up the next day after something and they had like a brand new car. Or they would spray paint their Cash App on the side of their car.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, how many got indicted? How many got indicted now because they used the money to get brand new houses and whatever else they did? I've been seeing news reports here and there. Some of the leaders of Black Lives Matter getting in trouble now for using the money for to buy like these McMansions or whatever.
Is that the main leader? Because I know
the main leader.
Really?
Yeah, the main leader. Yeah,
good. Supposedly, that's why I stopped being real proactive at work. Because the biggest thing for me has been, especially here in Louisville, seeing this city almost burned down. Yeah. And I remember it was right during the Breonna Taylor the verdict, and they decided they weren't going to charge the officers with her death. We arrested a big time political figure here in Kentucky and another lady. I actually put the handcuffs on one of them. And as soon as I saw her, I was like, all this is going nowhere. Yeah. Everything got dropped. People involved in the riots here, most of the charges were dropped. And now they're like, now that everything's kind of calmed down, they're like, hey, we need you to get back out there and be proactive and start stopping people. I was like, so you want me to go start stopping, harassing citizens, going about their everyday lives and make a minor infraction and then take money out of their pocket, put it in the hands of the government that didn't protect them in the first place? I was like, I don't think so.
Yeah, but we're and you dropped all the charges on the people that were actually doing stupid shit.
That's the thing with Stephanie Hudson when she said over 1,000 arrests they had in Portland, and only maybe 10% of them actually got any charges pushed forward. Imagine that. Over 1,000 arrests, only 10% actually got charged.
We've gotten soft. We've gotten soft as a society. We've gotten soft as in policing. You know, because at the end of the day, you know, people are talking about, you know, revolutions and civil wars and all this stuff. And if people really wanted that shit to happen, how many veterans would come out of the fucking woodwork? How many cops would fucking come out of the woodwork? You don't want that.
They don't have the stomach for it.
But the difference is they don't. The public, the people, the assholes that are profiting over rhetoric like that and soapboxing over rhetoric like that don't understand it, because the veterans aren't coming out. The cops aren't coming out. That's what I'm trying to say.
Nobody's saying anything, and everybody's scared to say anything because of their paycheck. And I was like, I completely understand. I tell people I'm in a little different boat, because I can afford to lose my job because I'm strictly pretty much I'm retired. I don't have to work with my benefits from the Army and the VA. I don't have to. I do this job because I want to.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and also I'm not afraid to speak out. So I understand why guys are, but I'm like, the less we say, the more they do and get away with it.
Here's the thing. I like I told Stephanie and actually a couple guests, and even in my writings with HAVOK, I said, you know, there's more of us on the ground, boots on the ground cops, the everyday cop who's actually doing the fucking job, right? You know, I've done this analogy all the time, the 80-20 split. 80% are just there as cops, just to pick up overtime, just for a paycheck, and that's about it. 20% are actually doing the work. Right, are actually out there. They're not going for minor civil infractions. They might pull somebody over for a minor, civil infraction, but guess what? They just got 3.5 kilos and a fucking AK out of a car. You know, those are the real workers, and it's up to us, the 20%, the real workers, to be the ones who talk, because the 20%. Here's the 20%, which I know how we are. We're the quiet professionals. We don't give a fuck. We don't want the attention. We just want to just leave us alone. Let us work.
Let me do my job.
I'll fucking figure it out. And one thing I fucking have always hated is when some shit's going down, or we'll call tactical situations going down, and you arrive on scene and you get a supervisor who's probably only been on the job 3 years, that you've been on the job 15 to 20 years, and you have, hey, we need to do perimeter, whatever. He's like, no, I'm in charge now. This is what I'm like. Oh, here we go. This is going to turn into a fucking
That's
shit
like the
show.
opposite of leadership.
Contest, man.
Yeah, exactly. But it happens. It happens, right? And that's the thing, though. Us on the ground, we know this shit. That's why we need to talk about it. That's why I talk about it in my writing. That's why I talk about it on the podcast. That's why I'm vocal. I don't give a fuck. Like you said, with me, yeah, I get my shit ton of benefits from the VA. My wife does pretty good. Makes pretty good money. I really don't need the job, but you know what? I want to do it because that's the big difference. The love, the love for my fellow law enforcement officers, the love for my fellow combat vets that are on the job. It's truly an honorable profession, right? It's a profession of extreme integrity and honor. But these politicians that are vilifying it, because they have their own agenda to make money off it. They know they can make money off it. Every election year, every couple of 4 years, the election years, right? Yeah, exactly. They where do they go? Where will they go? They will go to certain parts of the city purposely to get those. We're going to do police reform. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Meanwhile, they're
going to get your reparations as well.
Exactly.
Every couple of years.
Meanwhile, they're doing these rallies in gangland neighborhood that could give a flying fuck about them.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're not going to change the neighborhood for them. They just want the votes.
That's all it's ever been about. So we got a guy here, one of our council members. He's got this new thing where he wants to take money from the districts to pay for bail reform, to pay guys bail to get them out of jail. I'm like, I was like, do you not see the homicide numbers we have in this city? We just broke the January record here in Louisville. We had, I believe it was 18 or 19 homicides in January.
In January?
January.
Wow.
Yeah, last year we had 188, 89 homicides. When I started in 2010, we get like 30, 40, 50, 60. I never thought I'd see almost 200 bodies here in the city. And it's just every day. And I can't even keep up anymore. You hear about the shooting last night? I'm like, bro, I have no clue.
Which one?
Yeah, which one? And the thing is, if you don't get it controlled here, it's starting to bleed out into the nicer areas of the county.
Yep.
Well, it is.
Like I say, if your neighbor's house is on fire, you better be concerned.
Yeah.
So now these young cats, like I said, we got rid of our juvenile jail. When I came back from the Border Patrol, I was getting ready to take a kid to the jail. They're like, where you going? I was like, taking the JC Wassey.
Yeah.
Like, that's not there. I'm like, not there. Why'd they get rid of the juvenile jail? To save money. And now these kids, man, they are running amok. I mean, they are doing all the killings and shootings. I mean, last year we had a girl. There was a hit on this girl. 16. I remember seeing the news story. She was a basketball player. And I remember my buddies that made the scene was like, bro, they hit her with the chopper. They were after her. Yeah, and it's just, the thing is, we just had a shooting here at a bus stop a couple months ago. We had one of the kids, he got shot and killed at the bus stop. His buddy, who me and my partner were working on, he was shot in the arm. We're sitting there talking to him. He just turned 16. He was like, this is the second time I've been shot. I'm like, God damn, man, how are you a combat veteran in your own neighborhood?
Right.
Yeah.
Now, where do you think these kids, how do you think these kids are going to grow out of this shit? Yeah. If this is all that they know and they're being abandoned, that was my point. My point is, a lot of these politicians, right? Some may have good intentions when they come into these things. Yeah. Right? A lot of them don't live in reality.
No, they don't.
Even communism in theory works. Yeah. In reality, it's the stupidest fucking thing on the planet.
Right? Well, the thing is, though, they forget human nature.
Exactly. Well, that's lack of imagination and no human nature. They don't take it into account. So again, all this fruity fucking, let's get rid of the juvenile detention center. And let's give them fucking little toys to play with. Look, great in theory. I want kids to be happy.
Well, we have our own bail reform. Remember, like a couple months ago, some asshole got released based on the bail reform, and what did he do? He fucking killed a woman. Because bail reform works.
It's like almost trying to teach a civilian what it's like to go into combat by having them read stories about it.
Yeah.
They just don't get it.
No,
and it's
you will never, no matter how many movies, how many books, how many and correct me if I'm wrong, Dex, like no matter how much, even put yourself in a fucking virtual reality fucking room, you will never, ever replicate what it's like to be at war.
You're not going to get that chemical dump.
You will not, ever. And every time I hear somebody say, "Oh, I understand what you fucking have no idea. Don't give me that bullshit." You know, like, "Oh, I understand. Even as cops, you see these. Sometimes I go to these meetings because of my unit, and you overhear these academia types, and you're just looking at them like, no. That's not the way it works on the fucking ground, you know.
I was good in theory.
Exactly. I was at somewhat of a meeting. It was like a police thing, and again, one of these people that's been on for 4 or 5 years, that's super smart, super educated, super this and that, and they're talking about, you know, the stresses and all that stuff. And I'm looking at this person, and I'm like, motherfucker, do you know what that sound is like when you hear the fucking round go over your head? Have you ever?
Yeah.
Because that would change your opinion really fucking quickly. And it brings me to the point of when George Floyd died.
Yeah.
Okay. Regardless of what had happened or what our opinions may be, I remember we live in the same town. We live in a decent town, right?
Yeah.
Next door, there's a really affluent community.
Yeah.
And I remember driving by, and it was a Starbucks.
Oh, of course.
Coincidentally.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there at a traffic light. Dex, you're going to love this. I'm sitting there at a traffic light, and this beautiful fucking Range Rover that's like 230.
I remember you told me about it.
I told you the story.
Yeah. You told, yep.
$230,000 fucking Range Rover.
He called me like not even 2 minutes later. Yeah. He's like, "Yo, what the fuck?" Yeah, go.
So she parks this beautiful fucking Range Rover, right? This gorgeous woman comes out of it. Like, I was blinded by the fucking bling that was all over her. Diamonds and fucking probably in her eyes, right? She comes out of it and she picks up a sign that's talking about fucking I can't breathe and equity with the black community and this and that. And I wanted to put my window down. I wanted to grab her. I want to put my window down and be like, how the fuck do you know about fucking injustice? Please, I want to sit here and listen about how you know about injustice.
Yeah.
Let me tell you how you need to be offended, sir.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I laugh my ass off when I see white people out there with all the banners and all that shit, and I'm like, how the fuck do you know about the struggles?
Let me ask you guys a question. Does this shit happen in the fucking hood? Are these people going into the fucking hood?
Fuck
Never.
no.
Dude, they don't cross over 9th Street. I've been saying that. I was like, they protested downtown.
Right.
Dude, I swear. They were sitting there yelling at me one day, and they were like, "Yeah, we love the hood." I was like, I ain't never seen you
really
west of 9th Street not one damn time.
First of all,
if you do, you got a whole escort.
Yeah.
Go into the hood and see how much you fucking love it after that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
That lady would drive into the hood and probably lock her doors. Give me a fucking break, lady.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
No, it was so weird. During the protest, so it was right after all the Breonna Taylor stuff, and they were still downtown. They started doing the caravans with the cars. So I remember we stopped this car. We got surrounded. We was like, "Now we writing this ticket." So my homeboy gets me the girl's driver's license, and I accidentally kept it. So I was like, "Man," the next day I was like, "I'm gonna drop this out to our house." Man, I drive out. I'm driving further out. Then I'm going to this $1 million home in the neighborhood. I was like, "You raggedy bitch!
Exactly.
You got this nice ass house down here."
Exactly.
I was like, man, I knocked on the door. Nobody answered.
Yeah, they were like, "There's a black man at the door."
Yeah, exactly. There's a black. What's going on?
Yeah. That's the thing. They're all full of shit.
What did we hire you to do?
Yeah, they're all full of shit.
Everybody wants to be a part of something.
Exactly. Well,
and this is the next biggest thing. Like, dude, I was just reading a book the other day. This guy, Joe Fair here in Kentucky, he was a Vietnam veteran. Mm-hmm. So after Vietnam in 1969 or 70, he comes home and he was working the riots in DC. And I was listening to it and I was like, this sounds eerily familiar, just like what we all just went through the last few years.
Yeah.
So funny how history repeats itself.
We were talking about that with your father-in-law?
Yeah, right.
Vietnam vet. We had it at the show that we did in Cleary's.
Yeah.
And he said the exact same thing. It was the whole baby killer fucking aspect of how soldiers were coming off of the airplanes and getting labeled. We're seeing the exact same fucking thing.
So here's the thing. So I wrote an article, right? I wrote an article for HAVOK Journal, I think it was last year. It was called law enforcement treatment eerily resembles Vietnam War era veterans.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of readers when they read it, and even the owner of a HAVOK journal and the editor, they were like, we never thought of it. I was like, holy fuck. Like to them, it was a mind blowing, right? I mean, because here's the thing. I took 2 pictures, right? Vietnam War protesters, and then you had the soldiers on the other side. It was 2 legitimate pictures, and dude, the same exact fucking look. It was amazing. I mean, look it up. You'll see the picture I'm talking about, because what I did, I cropped it, and that way I can fit both pictures together, and it literally looked like both protesters and the veterans and cops, and you're like, dude, that's the same fucking thing. Like same exact picture, 2 different eras, and it's very telling, because when Vietnam War veterans came home, you know, like my father-in-law said, he kept his head down. Yeah, he wouldn't say that he's a veteran. He would because when people found out he was a veteran, they would throw him out of the bus. They'll spit on him, throw him out of restaurants. Wow. Think about now these days being a cop. Can you really risk even showing up in uniform to a restaurant to grab your food?
Well, you better not go through a damn drive-through in your cop.
Good God.
You better not.
Every time I see a fucking like one of our officers go through, I'm like, are you out of your fucking mind?
What's wrong with you? Yeah.
I'm like, unless I can see them making my food. Yeah, right?
Get your sperm count up. Right?
Yeah. Holy shit.
You want some enzymes with that?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, unless I'm seeing my fucking food being made.
Yeah, nah, man.
No, I'm good. But oh my God,
I do wonder that. I've always told my buddies, like, man, I wonder how much people's DNA I've swallowed unknowingly.
Hey, you're getting Pete to dry heave. All right, let's go easy.
Let's change the subject.
Hey, so
he's about to text his therapist.
I know. Hey, here's my therapist. Yeah, Dr. McGill.
There you go. Running low.
Oh, yeah, right.
What the fuck? I'm still not drinking.
So
you need a Zoa.
I know, right? You need a Zoa. Very important topic, actually, we haven't hit yet. Probably the most important part of tonight, not just your book and the podcast, but being in the 10th Mountain and the history behind that, and what was like at Fort Drum. We know the stories.
Oh, man.
When did you, immediately after basic, you got assigned to 10th Mountain?
I did. So I got married right after boot camp. The typical, we're going to be together forever. I passed up going to Ranger School.
She wanted the dependent status with the benefits. And all that
she deserved it, man. She was a banger back in the day, man. I had the baddest girl in my arm at
you
school,
did
man.
all the cliche
she wasn't the local.
shit,
She was from high school with me.
You did the cliche shit, man.
I did, bro. I did, man. But, you know, it's so weird. So after I got divorced and went back to Fort Drum after getting out of Walter Reed and I was single, see, a lot of people see the mountain tab, but they don't really know the true meaning of the 10th Mountain Division mountain tab. So in the 10th Mountain, we say you got to earn your mountain tab. And they say the only way to earn your mountain tab, you got to go find a large Watertown chicken melon. That is so, but, you know, this is so funny. So, you know, we have 10th Mountain Division in Fort Drum, but they also have a brigade down in Louisiana at Fort Polk.
Yep.
And I can always tell the Polk guys versus the New York guys, because I'm like, when I was down on the border in the Border Patrol, the 10th Mountain Brigade from Fort Polk was down there with us. I saw him and I walk up to him like, hey, bro, you got your mountain tab, dog? Yeah, I got my mountain tab. No, do you have your mountain tab? I don't understand what you're saying, talking about. I was like, yeah,
Fort Polk.
You're from Polk.
Yeah. well, so my first experience going to Fort Drum and see all the guys in the barracks fucking getting ready to go out. I'm like, what is there to do out here? Like, we're in the middle of fucking nowhere.
What year were you there?
I was there. So I was in the Guard. So it was the Guard unit that would go over and train every year for our AT. So it was like a month or two AT we do at Fort Drum. So we drive from Massachusetts to New York, Fort Drum, and during the ride, I'm like, dude, there's nothing out here. It's fucking empty. So get to the base and we fucking download, getting ready to go out, and the guys are like, "Oh, you have it? Oh, you're in for a treat." we're going to Watertown. That's the place to be. I'm like, okay. Like, I had no idea what I expected, right? And part of me was like, these guys are fucking with me right now. So the first bar we walk into, I kid you not, it must have weighed 6.5 tons in there. And
was it pewter mug, Poor Richards, club stages?
Yeah, exactly.
Holy shit.
I walk in, I'm like, oh my God, that is some meat going on here. And
we're totally getting canceled after this, by the way.
But I was like, God damn, I've never seen that big size in one room. And, here I am, a young fucking 20-year-old,
And they all turn around and they're like,
oh, pretty much. Hey, they know when soldiers show up, right? They know when the new batch of soldiers show up.
Betty, the meat's here. The new meat.
I'll never forget. One of them came up to me, and the only thing I could say, please don't eat me.
She starts sniffing you.
Oh yeah, please don't eat me.
Man, I remember I had beer goggles one night, man. I was 10 sheets to the wind, my homeboy Boch. And we were at, we called it Poor Richards. What we called
it. It's definitely not what it was called.
This girl. Yeah. I was talking to this girl. I was like, man, she's gorgeous. And my homeboy kept pulling me. I was like, hey, man, stop. I got this. And the next thing you know, he pulls me out the club, puts me in the cab. I wake up the next morning, and then we're out. And this girl comes up, starts talking to me out in town in Watertown. And I don't remember her. He was like, that's the girl from last night. I was like, no, it's not. No, it's not. He was like, yes. I was like, man, thank you. I tell people, man, you just, when you're a young soldier, oh man, it's single, like you just, I'm a different man now.
Oh yeah. But, hey,
you have standards now.
No. Hey, young 20-year-old me, we get obliterated to 0-500. We know 0-6. We need to be out there for PT. So we get the medics, hook us up with IVs, good to go. Run our fucking PT, good to go. We're all good.
Savages.
Now, if I fucking do what I used to do back in my 20s, I'd be dead.
You'd be dead.
I'd be dead.
Oh, dude. So when I went to Austin, Texas about a month ago, so I went to go be on the Drinking Bros podcast to promote my book.
Oh,
and
cool.
My homeboys from the Border Patrol came with me.
Oh, nice.
We went so hard. I thought I died. And my homeboy, he's a Marine. Like, I don't know what happened to him, but he disappeared. and then my phone keeps ringing. I got back to our hotel at like 3:30, and man, we're like, "Where's your honey?" I was like, "I don't know, man." I walked my drunk ass over to the 7-Eleven. I got like a bunch of electrolyte drinks and took a bunch of Tylenol because I knew what was coming.
Yeah.
The next thing you know, he comes in the room. He lays in the bed, and it's like I could hear him gurgling in the alcohol in his throat. I was like, yo, check on, make sure he's alive, man. And so
taking his pulse.
I gotta go to the bathroom. Next time I go back to my bed, he's moved to my spot. And I'm like, son of a gun. And then even better was when he started waking up the next morning, he looks over, he's like, I think I have COVID. And lo and behold, we literally all had COVID.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude, yo, it was so wild, man. I was like, yo, they're going to come with me, I think, to when I go to San Antonio for Black Rifle Coffee in March. So I was like, listen, we can't do this. I told them I love y'all, but I'm glad we do not live in the same town again.
Yeah,
my liver and my body could not take it, man.
So a group of guys came up here from Fort Bragg a couple months ago. And great fucking dudes, and we went to. They wanted to go to a cops bar, like that's all they wanted to do. Like, we heard Boston's got some of the best cop bars. I'm like, okay, yeah, I could take you to one. And the one I take, which every cop knows, JJ Foley's.
Yeah,
everybody knows that every cop knows, because at some point, it's only cops in there.
At some point, it's all cops wearing baseball jerseys.
Exactly. Baseball jerseys. They're still in uniform. They're wearing baseball jerseys and drinking up a storm. So we head over there. I know the old man, fucking good people. It's a family-owned business, fucking law enforcement, military-friendly, awesome group. So we go in there, and the Jamesons start flowing.
Oh yeah.
And beers, Jamesons. And then the owner would come by and be like, hey, on the house, boys. And I'm like, oh, this is not going to end well. Yo, I didn't get home till 6 a.m. And what's funny is 2 hours later, I had to meet up with them for training. And I meet up with them. I'm like, yo, no.
I'm going to die.
Yo, I think I'm still drunk. I slept in my car. Like, I couldn't even drive. Like, I slept in my car.
Should have set up IVs, dude.
Oh, well, I wish we had IVs. I stayed literally right outside the Foley's in my truck and just fell asleep.
Freezing up.
Yep. Oh, are you still there?
You there?
There it is. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
I think we just got canceled.
I know. The bandwidth. They're like, yeah, no. These guys are, no, we can't. But oh man, it was quite the night. But anyways, hey, what an awesome
dude
show.
Oh,
awesome
man, this has
dude,
been great,
yo.
man.
And
y'all have some wonderful content, man. Thank y'all for what y'all do.
Oh,
like I said, I remember which one of y'all were the ambush episode. I was listening to in my car, parked in my spot. And I was like, man, one of y'all took y'all vest off and you was chilling. I was like, you know what?
That was him.
I was like, I don't feel so bad now. No, these guys are badass. They had a moment.
Yeah, dude. That's the one thing. When Iman told me he wanted to do the podcast, right? The thing I said to him, and we both agreed immediately, was we're not going to hold back. We're going to talk about everything. No PC, all the good things we do, and all the fucking stupid things we do. You know? And that's why we love having people like you on, because you're real. You're not PC. You're not bullshit. And we want to tell people, listen to your podcast too. We have no problem with people listening to your podcast. Get the book. How do people get your book, by the way?
So if you want to get a copy of the book, you can go to iampitts.com. That's my website. You can get it on Amazon. And I tell people, if you want an autographed copy, send me an email at iampitts@yahoo.com. And I'll tell you how to get a signed autographed copy from me. So, but other than that, that's it, man. Can we put a link up on our website?
Oh yeah. I'll send it. Unless, or if you have the link, you want to email it to me.
Yeah, and so there's no pictures in the book. Everybody's like, I want pictures. Ladies and gentlemen, I am a cop. I can't afford pictures in the book. Okay. So what
plus,
I've done is
and then say you're not a Marine. You're not a Marine. You don't need a coloring book.
Wait, don't they eat their crayons? Dex, thanks so much, man. Thanks for holding on. Stick around for the next 2 minutes, okay? Guys, Project Sapient with another awesome guest, man. Good job bringing this guy on, man. I want to say thanks to our supporters. First of all, check out our website, projectsapient.org. Email us, projectsapient2020@gmail.com. Thanks to our supporters, DCD Automotive, Till Valhalla, AAA Police Supply, HAVOK Journal, our partners at the Profiles at HAVOK Podcast, Second Mission, Live Boston, OD Kit, Eagle Eye Firearms. God, we have a lot of supporters. Yeah. GunTrack, Fit Cops, 22 Mohawks, and Joint Operations. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We love you. Stay safe.
Stay sapient.